Nosotras somos
Lilies Among Thorns. I'm Juliana Vivas. You can call me Julie.
And I'm Julie Zena.
And today we have a special guest with us.
Hi.
Welcome, Franccesca.
Thank you. My name is Franccesca.
Yes, Franccesca.
Today we're going to have a girly chat.
A very good talk indeed. So, Zenith, would you like to explain the topic today?
As per usual. Okay, hold on. Okay. Ready. Okay, so in the wise words of St. Augustine of Hippo, late home I loved you, beauty so old and so new. Late have I loved you, and see you were within, and I was in the external world and sought you there. I'm pretty sure I quoted that correctly. If not, I apologize.
Beautiful, beautiful. And with Franccesca here today, we wanted to bring this quote, especially when we come back to the faith a little bit later in life. And this is something that you have experienced, right, Franccesca?
Yes.
So tell us your story about coming back to the faith now.
Just like a little mini intro. Who are you?
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
are you?
Yeah, awesome. Well, I feel like maybe with a lot of culturally Catholics, growing up Mexican, you kind of are just like born into the faith. Went to Catholic school my entire life, but I never really had a relationship with God. I feel like it was kind of more of a God really only existed at school because my parents weren't practicing Catholics. Until later in life when, you start asking the real questions, like, what's the point of life? Why am I here?
Yes.
And then that's really when I found my way back to the faith. I didn't know what to do in my life. I felt really, really lost. I think I had like quit my job and everything, and I just was super lost. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do, but I think I just need to go back to church and have a relationship with God. And it just started from there, and we're here now.
Wow, praise God. That's beautiful. And how has it been now coming back? Like now that you're really here, how is it different?
And diving deeper, because from that's what it looks like, right? Like you've just like dove in even.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I went through the whole steps, like my first communion, my baptism, first communion, and then confirmation.
Wait, hold on, you didn't have those?
No, I did. Yeah,
okay.
I'm confirmed and everything,
Okay.
but like I didn't even know what it was. I didn't like my parents. It was kind of like, oh, everyone else is doing it.
Yeah,
because I went to Catholic school.
Yeah,
I was just kind of like, okay, I'll do it with them. My friends are doing it. Let me do it with them. So yeah, I really had no relationship with God, and then I left the Catholic Church for 6 years. So right after high school, because we would go to Mass all together in high school, I stopped going to Mass after high school. So I didn't go. I'm 2 years post-grad. So it's 3 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 3 years post-grad. And I came back to the church last year, and it was so different. I just completed 1 year actually from receiving the Eucharist again. It was last year Mother's Day, so it was this year. Yeah, I know. Beautiful. I was like crying when I realized. But yeah, it was. I explained it to people. It's kind of like when you break up with someone and then you kind of miss them, and then you don't really know how good you had it until you left them. That's kind of how I felt with the Catholic Church, because I didn't know how good I had it until I left it, and I actually was starting exploring Protestant churches for like 4 months.
So you did explore like other churches.
Yes, and that's why I feel like I didn't know how good I had it until I came back.
Yeah.
And I realized like this really is the fullness of the church. And now that I'm very devout and I'm actually practicing, it's not like, oh, I'm Catholic, but I don't.
Title.
Yes, I'm Catholic, but I don't go to Mass or I don't go to confession, right? Where like that was literally me. That was me a couple years ago.
As it is for like so many of us.
A lot of people. And so now it's completely different. It's like, okay, now I understand why las señoras are at Mass every day. Like now I understand, why they're there every day.
Purpose.
Yes, I understand it. Like the peace that you have now, like when you have Diosito in your life, it's so... It's a peace you can't find anywhere else. And I tell people too, like it no longer feels like I'm just existing. Like it feels like I'm living, right? Like I'm living now. I'm not just existing.
The bread of life.
Yes, exactly. And that's basically like what it feels like now, especially coming back to the faith and being in the faith for so long. And then it's like, wow, I knew of Catholicism my whole life. And you know what? I was actually really surprised because when I found out like the traditions of Our Lady of Guadalupe, I thought it was just like Mexican
stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was literally just like a Mexican tradition. And then I found out it was like Catholic, and I was like,
it's
I thought it was
actually
just
part of the faith.
I thought it was just like a Mexican stuff. I went to Catholic school.
They didn't teach you that?
Como dicen por ahí, católicos pero burros. Like, you don't even know the faith.
Because they, unfortunately, like, we aren't taught. Yeah, that's like the thing that you hear the most, that unfortunately, like, the way that we're catechized, it's like, it's so just not good.
Yes.
Like, we need to do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also it's I didn't care. Like, I really didn't care. Like, it was just kind of a school thing for me. Like, it was just, it was the only thing I knew because I went to Catholic school my whole life. Like, for me, it was just part of, like, school. Like, everyone else, like, does this, right? Yeah. I didn't see it as, like, a religion because I wouldn't go to church, like, on Sundays. I would just go on Fridays when the school would take me.
Oh, so when you were in school, like, you only really, like, practiced the faith while you were in school, but not, like, in your... like at home life?
No. My parents are still not practicing Catholic. So yeah.
But you can be the one to bring them back.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm praying.
So that you're
I'm
planting
for
the
them.
seeds already.
Yes, 100%.
And is it just you? Yes. Or you have more siblings?
No, so I have a younger sister. She's practicing Catholic too.
Wow.
Yeah, praise God. Seriously, praise God. She's 20 years old.
She's a baby.
She's like my little sister's age. Yeah.
Really?
They can be friends and go to mass together. We'll send them to mass.
Yes. No, that's really cute to hear that they're like so young and they're practicing.
Yeah.
I was not, I mean, I've been Catholic my entire life, but not like as devout as I should be.
Yeah.
Especially at 20. That's kind of like a rebellious-ish
Yes,
age because you're like
100%.
finally like an adult out of high school. Yeah.
And it's kind of
really
even
beautiful.
embarrassing to admit, but I went to Catholic school my whole life and I didn't open up my Bible until last year.
Oh, it happens.
I was like literally 23 when I opened up my Bible for the first time ever.
And I did want to ask you, how did you find the traditional Latin Mass?
Like in the area or how?
No, like how did you come to knowledge of the traditional
Did you
Latin
hear
Mass?
about it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think just social media. I think now you kind of like dictate your feed now, right? So now it's like all Catholics, like all like the saints and everything all over my feed. So then I start hearing about this Catholic, the traditional Latin Mass, and I going back to the faith, like I didn't know about like Vatican I and Vatican II, and then like all of this. So then I started researching. I was like, oh, okay. So the Mass used to be in Latin and it just recently changed into the like English vernacular, right? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I want to go experience it. And I've gone like 3 times. It's beautiful. I don't understand it, but
it's like, Latin.
Yeah, it's Latin.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but it's beautiful. And it's a little bit longer Mass, but it really is very, very, there's a lot of, what's the word? Veneration.
Reverence.
Yeah. Reverence. Yes. Reverence. It's beautiful. And we went to a high Mass. It was like gorgeous.
From what I hear, that's like the way to like experience. Like
I'm taking her to her first high Mass this Sunday.
Oh my goodness. It's like heaven on earth. You're going to walk out of the Mass and be like, I can't believe I was just in heaven.
I'm a changed woman again.
Right? It does feel like that. And it's amazing because even you said, oh, you don't understand the language.
Yeah.
But you understand and you
what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of is similar to Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of like recognize the words. Yeah.
And even though it's not the same language, everybody together, it may be different kind of people like from all over the world. It's church is universal. You still know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah, 100%.
So you haven't been going to traditional Latin Mass every Sunday though?
No. Especially because back home there's no Latin Mass near us. Like literally the closest. Yeah,
it's just here in LA.
Yes. The closest one near me I think is like in Ventura, like 2 hours away, or Northridge. Yeah, it's a while.
Yeah.
So I go to the Novus Ordo right now, but we haven't, and especially the Latin Mass is only at like 1 p.m. over here, so it's a little bit later in the afternoon, so it's kind of hard to
make
attend
the
it.
drive,
Yeah.
or like go. Yeah.
That's why it's so difficult, and we need it back.
Yeah, because there's so like few options.
Yes.
Yeah, even where I live, we literally just have 2, and that's it.
Is it usually later in the afternoon?
They're in the morning.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
They're pretty early.
Yeah. I think the one that I attended here, I think the only one is at like 1 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit later.
I think I know where.
I feel like me, like I've always been used to just going like super early on Sundays.
Like, you wake up and that's your thing.
But I'm like 1 p.m.
It feels like wrong almost.
Yes,
but you know
like
how
give me like an 8 a.m.
That's how
good
it was.
for me.
That's how it was back in the day, right? Like back when everybody was Catholic. So I've read like in the story of Saint Teresa's parents, Saint Teresa of Lisieux right here. Her parents would wake up early, go to mass in the morning, go do their thing, have a family day, come back and go to Vespers. So Vespers is going, you know what Vespers are?
Which
so
I also have not experienced. So.
She's going to experience.
Yeah.
So that we have prayer more than any other religion, I think. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. So we have matins, which is the morning, and I don't know the rest, but they're during the day that we have to be praying. And then at night, it's like the night. I think it's compline, something like that. But at night, it's Vespers. So it's back then, you would go on your Sunday in the morning to matins, to mass. And then you would go out and do your thing with your family. And then at night, you end with Vespers because it's the day of the Lord on Sunday. So your whole day is filled with prayer.
Yeah, because me too. I've never heard of like that. Yeah.
That's also the beautiful thing about Catholicism is there's so much history. There's
always something new that you learn.
Every day I learn something new, and I'm like, I love being Catholic. Like every little thing I learn, I'm like, I love being Catholic.
Me too. And you know what Candace Owen said about that too? She said, to know history is to be Catholic.
Catholic.
So it's like so true. And I think we get me too. We get so lost right now because we're trying to feel something. We want feeling. And that's why a lot of people, I think, como dicen en español, católico ignorante, seguro protestante, because they go chasing a feeling. They want to
the
feel
liveliness
something.
of like the...
Or even just the music that they call praise and worship, which I always say it's not worship music. It's praise music, but not worship. But they go chasing a feeling, and that's why they always end up somewhere else. And usually it's in the big mega Protestant churches and things like that, which we have a problem right now of that.
And usually
they do look like concerts.
yes, they do. With like smoke shows.
Oh my gosh, yes. I've seen some that are like people doing flips. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Very different.
Yeah, and also, evangelical churches and other Protestant churches, they have the lowest retention of church attendees. Yeah. Wow. So because it's just like, well, God can be anywhere, God, you don't have to go to church. It's kind of like God is anywhere. It's like
what's the point?
They start going to church for a while and then they kind of like fall off because they just don't see the necessity to it.
Yeah, and they're so... I'm not trying to make it a whole fighting of like what's better, right? But it's like, what do you think Protestants attack more? Because you do your social media and it comes up a lot. What has been like the biggest thing you've gotten?
So many like Mary worshipers. You guys pray to the saints. Pray to the saints. You guys worship the saints. I think just like idolaters, like just stuff like that we idolize, like the statues and stuff. So it's just like typical things where I understand where they're coming from, because when I started going to the Protestant churches, I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like I was honestly, actually,
you could understand their perspective.
Yeah, 100%. And it was because I was attending, their sermons, and like they're telling you this, like, because that's what happens at a lot of, honestly, Protestant churches is they push like an anti-Catholic, and I'm telling it from my own experience because I was going to Protestant churches for like 4 months, and I remember one time this pastor was like, all right, this is the truth, there's heaven and there's hell, there's no purgatory. And me growing up Catholic, I was like, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, what about
I don't think that's true. Yeah, but honestly, what I get in the comments is just like, oh, you guys worship Mary. Don't worship Mary. Mary can't save you. She's not God.
But we love her.
Yeah, we love her. We love Mama Mary.
Isn't it crazy how they attack her the most, though? Like, because I think that's all, they attack her the most in what you said, too. You don't need to go to church to be with God. But the Eucharist, we have him truly present.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that is truly our Lord present fully.
Yeah, and to get to receive him.
To get to receive him is what is...
the biggest blessing.
Yeah, that's what Mass is, because people always say, oh, well, they're going to a service, what they would call a service, right? We go to Mass. It's not a service.
Yep.
It's a sacrifice. It truly is our Lord. So I think for me, that's been one of the biggest comments, right? Like, why do you go? And like, obviously, Our Lady like you worship.
Yep.
So I'm assuming you get that, and it fuels you up with wanting to learn even more to defend your faith,
yes,
right?
Exactly. And that's why I started posting like content about like the Catholic faith, because I was like, I was so ignorant to why, and I could never answer. Like if someone asked me before, like why I confess to a priest, why we pray to Mary, like I would have no idea. I would have would have had no idea how to answer.
Which, by the way, how did you like make that transition? Because a lot of the content that you were doing was like fitness, and then like now I feel like you're still sharing fitness content, but you've definitely been leaning more into like sharing your journey in the faith. Like how did that kind of
so
happen?
I went to so I started going into my faith and really it was, like I said, it was back in January of last year when I quit my job, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to start building my relationship with God, because I've never actually tried to.
Yeah.
So from January to like April, I was going to like the Protestant churches, and then I realized, if the Eucharist is truly Jesus, I need to come back to the Catholic Church. So I made that realization, like, and I actually was trying to I was trying to prove the Catholic Church wrong. That's actually how I ended up Catholic.
Oh my.
Yeah, so I was going to the Protestant churches.
It didn't work.
Yes.
It made you dive even deeper.
He literally turned around and was like, nope, you're wrong. So I was like, you know what? The Bible says this, but the Catholic Church does this. They confess their sins to priests. Like it says no statues. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like the Catholic Church is full of statues. Like why does it say that in the Bible?
Yeah.
So I was like, this is wrong. I'm going to prove the Catholic Church wrong, because I was like, I just want to be part of the true church. That's really how I went into how did the earliest Christians practice? Like, what is the true church? I was super confused. I'm going to prove the Catholic Church wrong, because I think this is wrong. And I started studying, and literally I was like, okay,
and you were proven wrong.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So that happened in May, because that's when I took the Eucharist for the first time in 6 years, and I had my confession in 6 years. Oh, wow. It was like a 45-minute confession. I was like crying. I wrote everything down on my phone.
As one does.
Everything. Yes.
I don't want to miss one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I was like, that happened in May, and then I really, really started growing my faith, going to mass and going to adoration. That was honestly a really, really big changer in my reversion, is going to adoration. So from May to August, I was really diving into my faith, and then in August I went on a retreat of last year. It's called an encounter retreat, and it's a Catholic retreat, and I hadn't really posted anything about my faith up until then, but I was kind of debating, like, should I start posting my faith on my page? Like, I don't know, because what if people unfollow me? I was just thinking all of these things.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not sure if I should. So then I went on that retreat, and then I feel like
how did you like find that retreat?
Yeah,
just
so
like your church?
My boyfriend, it's kind of a funny story. My boyfriend used to train this lady. Her name is Maria. I love her. She's my sponsor.
Oh,
yeah.
Shout out
to her.
Yeah.
Shout out Maria. She was my sponsor. So my boyfriend and I started building our relationship. So then he used to personal train. He was telling Maria, because he used to train her, oh, my girlfriend and I are like going to church now. Like we're building our relationship. And she was part of the church, and she was like, oh, we have a retreat coming up. Like you guys should go on it. So it was the men's first, and then the women went after. So he went on the retreat first.
And
he
experienced it first.
Yeah. So he lived it first. And then I lived it the week after. And I think that retreat was really like, I cannot keep this to myself. I can't keep my faith to myself. Like, I need to share this with other people. And it wasn't until, I think if you look back at my page, I really didn't start posting it until like literally August after that retreat.
Wow.
Yeah, whereas I can't keep it.
Back. See if she's saying the truth.
No, literally. But yeah, literally it was after that I was like, yeah, I cannot keep this to myself. Like, everyone needs to know his love. Everyone, even I don't care if people unfollow me. Like, I really don't care. I need to spread my word and do my duty, especially if I am blessed enough to have a following. Yeah, following in a platform. Like, I might as well do it. Like, use it for good, right? And use it to spread the word. So yeah, I took the leap, and I just went all in.
Plus, I mean, like, it makes you, and I'm sure that the way that you now live your life, like, it's clearly a reflection of your faith. Yeah. So naturally, it was just like
100%. Yes, 100%. And it's like the biggest part of my life. So it's like, how can I not post it on social media now?
And about the sponsor thing. So this woman, Maria, is your sponsor.
Yes.
And do you know is she your baptism?
No,
it's like for communion.
It's kind of, well, it's like a sponsor that gets you, because only the people, the only people that can get you in or that can serve the retreat are people that have lived it. So
so you're sponsored for the retreat.
Yeah, so she sponsored me for the retreat. So she was
okay.
me and Emmanuel's sponsor. So she sponsored us to go on the retreat and live it.
Oh, interesting. Have
Not
you
like
heard-
a sacrament.
No.
sponsor.
It's not like
Okay.
that. But she
Okay,
just
okay.
sponsored it. Like she paid for us to go and sponsored us to go. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah, 'cause
nice.
Yeah,
I just-
she's amazing.
I filmed something of this earlier too, of a video like this of, I think now Catholics, culture Catholics, we get anyone to sponsor the kids, right? And it's after 1 year. I don't even know my own godparents, my baptismal godparents. And that's another big deal. You know, a godparent is a big role in your life. So I was like, oh, do you know your baptismal?
Yeah,
like your
she's my,
godparents?
yeah. She's my tia, but I don't know my communion. I don't know, but my baptism, yes. But they're not. I don't think they're practicing. Anymore. I'm not sure. But
So,
that's
you
something
don't
that I
talk
want to
to
do. Like if I have,
Yeah.
I need to make sure that like their padrinos, my kids, if I baptize them, they have to be practicing. Have to be practicing.
Talking about
We
that
were
on the
talking,
way
yeah,
here.
and it's like the way that we wait 1 year just to throw the big party. Usually to throw the big parties, but it's a sin.
Let me say, I've noticed that, like, because I recently went to Mexico and an aunt of my like sells like the little outfits for the baptisms of the children. There's like hardly any like newborn sizes. Like they're all like the bigger girls. And like clearly like their outfits are like way more extravagant.
Yeah.
But because a lot of people do wait till they're bigger.
Yeah.
And it's harder to find outfits for the baby.
Yeah, I want to do it when they're like weeks old.
Yeah, you have to. You know,
Yeah,
it's a
right?
sin.
Oh, okay.
It's a sin if you delay the baptism.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I was like, when I have kids, like I'm baptizing them
Like,
like right
literally
away.
as
Like
soon
I'm
as you
not.
can, yeah.
I'm not waiting. I don't even care to have a party. Like I'm just doing.
Yeah, it's just
Exactly.
to fulfill
Yeah.
the sacrament. Yeah, get the
And I think
blessing.
St. Padre Pio, there's a story of St. Padre Pio. I think he cried when he found out how long his parents waited for him to be baptized. He's like, for that long, I belong to Satan.
Oh my
Right.
goodness! Wait, so it's a sin? I didn't even know that. It's,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, good
I
thing I
just
knew
found
that.
out. Yeah.
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 Do you know like when you were baptized? Like were you a little bit older?
Yeah. I think I was like, I think I was like 4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was 4 or 5.
I mean, I was like about a year and a half too.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I was
know.
older.
I
know,
was
it's
a
like,
year and a day.
How could my parents do that to me?
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it too.
But at least now we know, and hopefully, if we're
Yeah.
blessed with children, like we know that we will do better
Yes.
for them and their souls. Yeah.
Do you know the date of your baptism
Oh, I have no idea.
or the church
No.
name?
Yeah, it was the church that I went to elementary school at, St. Mary's of the Assumption.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
the Assumption. What a beautiful feast day.
Yeah.
And do you have a saint that you have a devotion to? Like
I'm
patron saint?
not to be honest, if I'm being quite honest, I don't have one that I have a devotion to, but I feel very, very pulled to. I feel like this is basic Carlo Acutis. I feel like everyone, you know, and he's not even canonized as a saint yet, but I just have and you know, Saint Faustina is honestly, and especially because the Divine Mercy Sunday just passed, and this is my first year as like a practicing Catholic, so I didn't even know
like
about
truly living it. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't even know about Divine Mercy Sunday, so it's coming up, and I'm like, another thing, I'm so happy
Another thing
I'm
you're just
Catholic.
not. Uh-huh.
And so I start reading about St. Faustina and like her diary and like her visions and everything. I was like, whoa, this is beautiful. So now I really take an interest to St. Faustina, but also Carlo Acutis.
And more saints to discover. There's so many
There's
good
so
saints.
many.
There's so many.
And I'm just like, wow, I have more saints to learn too, because I feel like once you feel like you know them, you don't know. You don't know all
There's
of them.
always
There's
something else,
always
yeah.
more, and so many good books to read. I don't know, do you have a spiritual director?
No, I don't.
No, okay. And so, but right now you're going to mass regularly. Every
Yeah.
Sunday you go.
I go daily.
Yeah. Oh, you go to
Yeah,
daily
yeah.
mass.
Where you guys pick me up, there's literally a Catholic church like right across the parking lot. So every morning at 8:30, yeah, I go. Or if I'm
That's
at home, I
beautiful.
go. Yeah, it's
Shall
beautiful.
we stop on
We
the way
should
out?
we should stop. We should stop and pray.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
No, wow, that's beautiful. And how do you think your prayer life is now? What have you adjusted? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or have you established like a prayer life
especially now
routine?
since I've been going to daily mass, I feel like that has really gotten me into routine, well, especially when I'm here. But first thing in the morning when I wake up, as soon as I open my eyes, I get up out of bed, pray just a little quick prayer because I'm still, maybe half asleep.
Yeah.
So just, just to thank God that I woke up, and have my eyes open. But, praying my rosary, I feel like that has really, really upped
Do you pray daily?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Daily. For sure. Daily. If it's not the full rosary, I'll do the Divine Mercy Chaplet. But I'll go to mass and then I'll pray my rosary right after.
That's beautiful.
That's
I
a beautiful
think
practice,
the rosary changes your life.
100%. I tell
And
everyone.
there's some people that do like multiple. I'm not there yet.
I'm not there yet
I'm like,
neither.
I know that I at least do one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like some people are like doing like 7. I'm like,
I
you
want to
go,
be that
girl.
devout. I want to be that
Me
devout.
too. I'll get there. Well, God's working in me. I'll get there.
Yes, and he is. So this is just the start because you just came back.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah.
Like literally just 1 year.
Ooh,
Still
in
a
3
baby.
years, you'll be floating, advancing, everything. Doing debates, okay? You're going to be doing debates with other people, other religions.
People.
And do you feel interest in like catechizing like kids? Maybe something like that?
Yeah, I actually just had a meeting yesterday with with the youth minister at my church back home. So I'm gonna join the confirmation program next year in June. Of August of this year.
How exciting!
I'm super excited, and it's the high school that I went to high school at. So I'm gonna help at the high school that I
You're
used to
just
go
gonna
to.
go back and relive everything.
Yes.
And now hopefully help these kids actually learn to love the faith.
Yes,
so
and
they
that's
can
what I
live it
want to
out.
do.
Yeah.
I want to work with high school kids. Like that's who I want to work with because it's like I wish I had someone outside of school telling me, don't have sex before marriage. Like there's a reason why things are set up like this. Don't go out and drink. Don't go out and like do drugs and stuff. Like I wish I had someone.
Wait, so like while you were in school, were they not as like teaching you all of that?
Yes, they were, but again,
Or they kind of just like in 1 year out the
yeah, that's literally what it was. And I
Okay.
feel like because I didn't really connect to, I guess, the youth ministers there at school or like the teachers, it was just kind of like, whatever. But I want to like try to actually, especially because I'm like closer in age with them, I want to like build really a relationship with them and like, guys, like I did a lot of stupid things. Like, please let me save you from this.
Yeah.
And how was your past, like before you came back to the faith? How was your life then?
Yeah. Okay. So it's
Was it
kind of
chaotic?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
it kind of was. I'm not gonna lie. In high school, I went to Catholic school and I would smoke weed. I would drink a lot. Yeah. It was,
I could never imagine that.
Fíjate, like, toda católica, supuestamente.
Pero detrás de escenas.
Pero detrás de escena, quien supiera, quien la viera.
Yes. So, and then in college, when I completely fell away from the church, that's when, a lot of crazy things, like, I would go to parties all the time, emborrachaba. I would drink a lot, like every weekend drink, like literally almost every weekend during college.
I mean, like the college life.
Yeah, literally just the college life. And then I even worked like bottle service and stuff. I worked the nightlife and stuff and did
Which didn't help.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it did not. Well, actually, you know what? That actually helped me because I would work sober and then I would go to the club sober and I would see everything and it like completely ruined it for me. I was like, I saw everything through the eyes of like someone sober minded
and be like, that's me.
Yeah. And I was like, this looks so empty, like empty. And I feel like that's honest. Like, I'm glad I kind of had that revelation, I guess, because I really just changed the way I completely saw it. And I only did it for like 2-3 months and then I quit.
Okay.
But
very eye-opening.
Yeah, very, very eye-opening.
Yeah. Because if you wouldn't have done that, you would have probably still been in that scene.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, why do we do that? Because I remember going to the clubs too before. And, like,
underage too, like
with a fake ID or something.
Who am I sitting with today?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And she
I've never been to a club.
Really?
She was
I've
just
never been
telling
to
me
a
that
club.
coming over here.
I was 18.
Yeah, that's
no.
when I'm like, should I leave?
No, she's like, we are all part of the club.
We're all part of the same club. The Catholic club.
Yes. So that's why I want to work with like teens specifically because it's like, guys, like it's not worth it. Like don't go through this route. Like save your happiness and leave that happiness for
It's
Jesus.
like you can find the joy with the Lord. Yeah.
Yes.
Not in the superficial
or even other things,
Yeah.
right? That like they want a boyfriend and they're like so young or they're in between all the drama. It's like, well, you have somebody who like have you ever thought of discernment? Like, we need more priests, more nun. Like, that's beautiful too,
Which
right?
also
Like,
another question, because I've never, like, clearly I didn't go to a Catholic church, but were you guys like taught to kind of like perhaps discern like religious life while you were in there? Is that something that they bring about?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember. I was actually part of youth ministry at my high school, but they never really talked about like exploring religious life. Yeah.
Interesting.
Funny enough, my boyfriend's grandma, she always wanted him to be a priest. Yeah.
wow.
And I was like, am I ruining it?
Have you ever had that process of like discernment of like,
Or has
maybe
it ever crossed your mind?
maybe
It 100% has crossed my mind. I told, if I didn't feel, every woman can probably relate to this. If I didn't feel so called to be a mother and be married, I would 100% be a nun. Like literally no questions asked. I would 100% do it. But I've always like for years, I've always said like, I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. So I don't think it would be for me. But if I didn't have that feeling and if I didn't have that in my heart, I 100% would be a nun.
Would have
Yeah.
considered.
and you went to Catholic school, so but there was never any nuns around, like no.
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were literally also talking about how, like, unfortunately, a lot of us, like, don't grow up with, like, being encouraged to discern religious life.
Yeah.
I would have assumed that, like, in Catholic school that they would.
I didn't
Like,
see my
you're
first nun in real life until like 2 months ago.
What? So you've never been surrounded?
No. And funny enough, it
my.
was at that mass where I went to elementary school and I saw a nun. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's the first time I see one in real life. But no, I like growing up, they were never at. No.
Here I was picturing you just see, like, the nuns just
No.
walking down the hallways or
typical-
something.
Back in the day, it used to be like that because
Okay.
I think my dad went to he went to school in Mexico, which might be a little bit different. He went
Okay.
to Catholic school there, and he like the nuns would like teach and stuff. But here, no.
Oh.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, from what I have seen others, because I know where one of the parishes I go to, they have a school and they have nuns there. So it's like you get exposed to that life and the way that they live, and it's just so beautiful. And we need that, right? Because how can you properly discern
Exactly
what you want if you're not even interacting with them? Like,
or exposed to it.
Yeah.
You
Exposed
probably
to
don't
it,
even
yeah.
know. Like you just hear about it like in movies or see them in movies.
Uh-huh.
and there's so many beautiful fruits in religious life, and we need more. We need more. There's a lack of it.
Yeah, I think like nuns. I just saw I think a video today. Like the average nun is like in their 80s.
Really?
The average nun.
Didn't we just hear of one in Wyomington? I don't even know. And they're like 13, 14-year-old
Oh, yes.
girls.
Wyoming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that
they're,
was when
they're
like
traditional
teenagers.
order. They're traditional. So
That's so cute.
Or like in the Midwest
yeah, like
somewhere.
I don't know if you've heard of actually Saint Teresa's story where she wanted to be a nun super young, and her dad made her ask the Pope for permission to go to a convent, and she
got
just
the
had that
blessing,
ache.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
at the end of
and
it.
she did, and I think she was like, well, how old was she? Do you know?
No.
You
But she was
have to-
very young.
Yeah, you have to read up on her.
Yes,
she's a good,
yes.
I think she's a good saint. For
Saint
you to-
Therese?
Yeah, Saint Teresa of Lisieux.
I just like learned about her parents. Obsessed.
I don't do you
And
know
I'm, like,
about
with
her
Saint
parents. Their beautiful marriage. Like, see, and if we feel called to marriage, that state in life, then we should be learning of the saints and marriage and how they did it and how they had a courtship. There's also a book
Do you read
that's
up on them?
that's really
Yeah,
good.
it's really
how
good.
how the saints courtships of saints, something like that. So
Oh,
it's
that's interesting.
how they properly came to marriage and all that, and like it's supposed to something that you should
Yes.
teach the kids that you want to
that'd be really
educate
good
them on.
encouraging.
I'm gonna write that
Especially,
down.
yeah. And
Just so I don't forget.
I gotta send you the books. So, how do you feel now that you are very dedicated? Do your parents tell you anything?
They think
do
I'm
see
kind of
this-
crazy.
Really? What do they tell you?
Wait, hold on. You did say that they're not practicing
Yeah.
Catholic. Are they just like not in like in any faith or?
No, my mom, she would consider herself Catholic, but
Oh, as of like today, she still considers herself.
I think
okay.
both of my parents would identify as Catholic,
Catholic.
but they don't really pray or like read their Bible or go to
Okay.
mass. It's just like, you know, kind of like the cultural Catholic, right? Like that. Yeah. So I try to get my mom to go to mass with me, but when I told her I was going to daily mass, she was like, why? Like, why are you doing that? Or when I sent her a picture of me veiling, she's like, "Ay, that's too much. Like, that's too much." Yeah.
Do you ever feel like a little bit? Oh, that's so it discourages you from wanting to veil or practice your Marian modesty?
Kind of. I mean, not really. It's just I know why I do it, so it's like I probably would have said the same thing if I wasn't as deep into my faith as I am now. So I probably would have said the same thing. So I understand her. It doesn't discourage me. It's just kind of like, I'll just pray for you because I hope you get there.
Yeah. So what? Now
Imagine
that
the day where she's veiling herself.
Oh yes.
Yes. And I know she'll get there through prayer. I pray the rosary for her every day.
That's virtual.
Do
hope
novenas
right
for her.
Yes.
Do novenas.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do novenas.
You do think,
I do think.
I've never done a novena.
You've
No,
never done a novena?
you'll do your first with us because we're always on
we
novenas.
are literally doing our third novena right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
54-day novena.
Of
It's
the
a long one,
rosary.
but
So many miracles happen. 27 days in petition, 27 days in Thanksgiving.
Oh wow.
Very
Do it.
powerful.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Do it
I'm
for
gonna
your
do it.
mom.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be
For
really,
your
really
parents,
special.
both parents.
Both of them,
yeah.
both of them.
Your parents, because it could be through you that they, and it will because you have that faith. You're like, they will.
Yeah, even the other day, my mom was like, because even like the way I dress, like has completely changed, and like I'll come out, I'm like, Mom, like, do you like my outfit? And she's like, ay, te has cambiado mucho, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
Like she looked at me in awe, and she was like, has cambiado mucho, and I was like, oh, thank you,
That's
Mom,
really
and I was like, it's
sweet.
God, and it's not me.
Yeah.
He really does just naturally like change your perspective in the way that you dress, the way that you behave, the way that you act.
The way you portray yourself and everything, the way you see things too, and like you said, the way that you act will kind of draw them towards you, because if they see that, like, if she's really praying all the time, if she's like, she has like this glow to her, like, that's how I used to be with people that were in their faith. Like, I was almost jealous of them, and would be like, they look so happy, like you
see a joy.
Yes, they have like something in their eyes, like they have a joy, and I'm like, I remember I would tell myself like, I want to be like that when I was really like at the beginning of last year in my faith, like I want to be like that. I want to get there one day, and I know I will, but it's just a matter of like actually, trying to do it. But I remember I would tell myself,
cooperating with the Lord. Yeah.
Yes, right, and listening and not pushing things, and actually listening. Okay, and surrendering everything. But yeah, it's that's pretty much
Yeah,
And your dad?
hold on. And before we forget, we'll send you the 54-day novena so that after we finish, so you can start it today.
Yes, I'll do it. I will do it. I'll start it.
And we can do one together. That's what we do. I'm always putting her on like, we're going to do this novena. We're going to get on the phone and we're going to do it.
And I'm like, the list. I'm like, I finished one. And she's like, Zenith, I've got a new novena that you can do. And I'm like, let me breathe. But okay.
I'm like, we got to get
it's never too much
heaven.
though.
I love that. I need like more Catholic friends. That's beautiful that you guys like have each other to like call up.
But she's so far.
I am.
Because you're
Because sometimes you want that, right? Like, I just want to go get my nails done, go for a girly chat, and go to adoration. Yeah, like that's perfect, right?
Yes.
And it's so hard. I don't know if, hopefully, and it's not your experience, that you have a hard time finding friendships within. It's very hard in the Catholic community.
Yeah, which by the way, have you how has that experience? Like now you living your faith, like have you? I know that you said that you like to have more Catholic friends.
Yeah.
Like, have you found any, or you're still kind of navigating?
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about the retreat that I went on last year was that you're put into communities. So everyone that has lived the retreat, you're put into communities. So I've built some friendships through the communities that I attend. Like there's some here in LA that I attend, or like Zoom ones. So I've built friendships through there. But as far as like building like, like a Catholic best friend, like that really hasn't been the case, or really finding someone that's really close in age to me. That really hasn't been the case, or someone that I can just call up, like you said, and just go to like adoration together.
Yeah.
That's not the case yet. Hopefully in the future, if God blesses, if that's his plan. But
Which also another thing, so like the church that you're going to, you haven't had like an encounter with like another girl around your age, like when you go to church, like on Sundays, like
no,
are there not many young women?
No, and
there?
I usually just go by myself too. So no, not really.
Because I would feel like it'd be easier. Because we were also talking about this, like when you feel like you're gonna find like a good Catholic friend at your church, it's like it's so hard.
It's disappointing sometimes. Because I haven't been back in the faith that much long either, right? But it's been my situation where it's like, no, I'm disappointed because you feel like, you expect a different outcome because you're both practicing the faith, but they're just as wounded as you, and you will be discovering that a purification process.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to find a good friendship that and there was saints that had good friendships, and we should aim for that. We should want to strive to mold each other to be better and go to heaven together.
Yeah.
You know, and what were you saying,
hard.
Sanat? I was just rambling.
No, I was just saying, like, if she had, had any luck, like, in person, like, meeting, or, like, I feel like sometimes it's hard and, like, you don't feel like because this has been my experience, like, at the church that I'm going to. I'm like, I don't feel the sense of, like, welcome.
Yeah.
Like, I've only been going there for a couple months, but I'm a new face. I'm like, they should recognize that I'm new there, but I haven't felt like the welcoming of like, oh my gosh, like you're new here. Like we have this group or anything. Like, no, I'm like,
I think that's what
why is it
Protestants
so
do
hard?
have,
Yes.
right? Like,
that is one thing.
Welcome,
Yes.
you gotta come back.
They're very like that, yeah.
I literally tell people they're like, Protestants like beat us when it comes to like things like that and like being super welcome, because that's what was going on when I would go to the other Protestant, like there was a Protestant church nearby that I would go to, and they like would get my phone number, they would send me text messages, like they would give me like a little cup, like it was like they would give me
like,
so
very
much,
cute.
Like, and you're like, oh, well, I want to go back for another free cup.
Yeah.
Let me just come back, right?
Yeah.
And then also too, I feel like it is kind of like my personality. Like I feel like once someone talks to me, I'm outgoing. But like for me to approach it, like I'm kind of like
It's
afraid
hard.
and like
You're just
standoffish.
like me. Yeah. It's just like I
Son
wait for the
reservadas.
person to approach
Yes,
me.
yes,
And then I'm
yes.
like, oh my gosh, you talked to me. Okay. Hi.
Yes, that's literally me.
Yeah.
And we had just talked about this in the one of our episodes of like, sometimes there's girls in the church leading a young adult group that are not so nice, not so welcoming. And I told her, I think we should leave those roles to men, like to call our brothers in Christ higher, those leadership roles.
Have you been to any like youth kind of groups?
No, the one that I literally got a call on with yesterday, I'm gonna start attending there when I'm back home, like when I'm not here. Yeah, I'm gonna be attending them back home.
And maybe you can find friends too, like once you start doing the catechism thing.
Yes.
And
I
find
hope
more
too.
people invested in the same area like that you want to be with, like kids and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you just need to throw yourself out there.
100%.
Right,
I
like,
think so too.
You're
As
more
scary
shy.
as it is.
Yeah.
You too,
Still,
Zanet.
I know.
More reserved,
Like-
girlies. Go and say hi. Go and
The
say
introverted
hi.
girlies unite, but it's hard.
Yes, it's hard.
It's like,
It's
dear
hard.
Lord, like Holy Spirit, like literally push me.
Yes.
Push me to do it
Yes.
because I'm not gonna go out of my way.
Yeah, I'm good. Like once you talk to me, like I'm fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, yes. But I think it's just me actually approaching. I was like, oh, like okay, I'll do it, but I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, because see, like I even tried, like I complimented a girl like on her outfit. It was very cute.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is my way in. Like
Yeah.
you have a really cute outfit. She was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I was like, okay, we built a connection. Next time I see her,
Yeah.
maybe she'll say hi. And no luck. I was like, here I was putting myself out there, and it didn't work.
Right. It doesn't work, and now you're all sad.
So now I'm sad. So I'm like, do I compliment somebody else's outfit? There's limited
That's literally
options.
me. Yeah.
And then when you do meet people, from my experience, it's like we're online friends and
Yeah.
we're so far different states, right? And it's
Online, 100%. I
you
feel
just
like
talk on the
online.
phone. You've made friends like that more online.
Yeah, online. I think it's just easier too, and especially because everyone's glued to their phones nowadays, right? Like it's just easier, I think, to.
And there's Catholic hashtags.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So,
hashtag
yeah.
rosary, hashtag Eucharist. I use
Eucharist,
all of those
the
like
whole
to
thing.
find.
Find your niche.
Find your
Find
niche
your
of
niche,
girlies.
of course.
Yeah.
No, I love it. And we need, guys, if you guys are listening, we need a bigger call for the Catholic community. We got to unite all the girlies, all the sisterhood. We need
Please approach one another.
approach us
There's-
if you see us because we're shy.
Yes, like for
or
girls like us.
Yeah, or like whoever's out there, just like as hard as it may be, like please go out of your way to like try to say hi, because there might be somebody else that's even more introverted than you that is waiting for you to compliment their outfit.
Yeah, and maybe it's their first time back, like in years or months or whatever, and they're kind of nervous too. Or if you maybe see them by themselves and they're kind of like in the corner,
Go and approach them.
Yes, smile.
Be like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? Do you want to pray the rosary?
Are you new here?
You guys inspired me. I'm gonna go do that when I go home. I'm gonna make it like, okay, I need to approach someone at church.
It's hard, but yeah.
Yeah, and then
have to
be
do
like,
it.
you can borrow my veil.
Yes,
Such veils.
I have a ton at home. You can borrow.
Yeah, exactly. So what does your dad think? I heard your mom, she's more like, oh, I love it. What does your dad think of this transition?
My dad is just kind of like, okay, whatever suits you. Like I'll tell him like, Dad, I love you. I pray for you every day, and he's like, oh, okay, thanks. thank you.
Gracias.
Just like, thank you. But I know there's something there because sometimes when I do take him to church and like the offerings like come by, like da dinero, like he puts money in it. So I'm like, oh, okay.
You're generous, Dad.
Yeah, he's being generous. And then also he has a Bible like right next to his TV. And when I started this reversion, I started reading the Bible more. And that was the only one I had at my house. So I was like, okay, let me take this Bible. And he noticed one day that it was gone. And he was like, where's my Bible? And I was like, I'm using it. And he's like, I need it back. Put it back there. And I was like, okay, I'll get my own.
You're like, keep it.
Yeah, he's like there. I just need to, when I talk about it too much, he's just kind of like, I don't want to hear that. So I'm like, okay, I just got to,
slowly
do it very subtly.
Yes.
Find the soft spots. And everybody has a different personality, right? Like we're saying temperaments. And so your mom is more open to it.
Yeah.
Right?
She'll go with me sometimes or like during the week. Like she went with me on Holy Thursday.
Okay.
She went with me. Yeah, on Easter we went together. On like days like that we'll go. I think like you said at the beginning, just lack of knowledge, lack of information, ignorance. Ultimately, because that's what ignorance isn't necessarily bad. It's just lack of information or lack of knowledge. And I think that's essentially what it is, especially when you grow up Hispanic, when you grow up especially Mexican, you're kind of born, like I mentioned, born into Catholicism and you don't really know why you do certain things, right? It's just you fall into tradition and you fall into, rituals that are
wearing your little Virgencita de Guadalupe necklace.
Y haciendo lo más feo de lo feo con la medalla. Y uno católico.
Wait, did you guys have that? Like your little, Virgencita de Guadalupe? Like
no, I never had one. I think I had like a little bracelet, but I never had like a necklace.
No, I always had that.
Baptism.
You had So when I was baptized, I had my Virgencita necklace, and they stole it when I was a baby. I don't know who stole it, but somebody stole it. So I never. No, my parents didn't replace it because pues también uno pobre también.
Yeah.
My parents struggling, and they weren't very devout. And then I did my Marian consecration a year ago, and I was like, well, other Latinas have one, I want mine. So I'm like, for my Marian consecration, I got my medalla, and I don't take it off. So now I'm part of the club.
You're part of the club.
But I know what it means,
Yeah. There's significance behind it.
Because there's a lot of girls that I know wear it and have made jokes of like, I'm doing this type of sin and I'm wearing my Virgencita, and it's just like, well,
unfortunately, like even like specifically, being Mexican American, it's like La Virgencita de Guadalupe. It's used as such an aesthetic thing.
Yes. You know what? I actually just saw it. I was shopping for dresses and I was looking on Fashion Nova and they had some with like La Virgencita on it, and I was like, really, like
it's not a logo.
Yeah, it's not.
Bikinis, and I've seen them making veils, a certain company on Instagram, veils, and they use it like to be super immodest, even just like the worst type of people, just dressing.
I've seen like some shirts, like super ripped up shirts with like La Virgencita on it, and it's
Oh, were you guys like when you were raised growing up Catholic? Did you guys have like those the candles? The little like glass candles with like the saints.
Yes.
Like their saints, el Sagrado Corazón de
No,
Jesús.
y luego hay gente que they have
because like now I see them with like
mockery of it, right?
With like
Lana Del
celebrities,
Rey, right, or something like that.
People with like them, It's like the face of the celebrity with like the body of like things. I'm like,
so disrespectful.
No.
The Catholic faith, I feel like, is like the only faith that's okay to like make fun of.
I mean, it's not okay, but it's the one that's like most mocked.
Exactly. Like it's almost seen as like okay to do it, right? Like even like nuns and like nun costumes and stuff. I feel like 2 years ago when I went like Halloween shopping for like a costume, I literally saw like nun costumes and they would sell like rosaries.
Do they have like priest outfits too or something like that? Don't they have
probably. I'm sure they probably do. But like it would have like a little bottle of like holy water and like a small Bible and like a rosary. Yeah. And so as like a costume at a Halloween store.
And it's kind of like a fetish too to them. Like, and it's so weird, right? Like, well, these are amazing women in the Catholic Church living a celibate life, and you want to make a fetish out of it. It's gross.
That is true. Or and like in horror movies too. You're like,
Which kind of leads some of the young men to think that, like, when they seek out a woman, well, they want a good wife or whatever, and they think they make a fetish out of Catholic women too. So it's not like it's so hard to find a good man, right?
Yeah, nowadays too. But I feel like there's an awakening. I feel like so many people are gravitating or coming back to the Catholic
I've
Church.
seen that, especially like when like the new Pope came in.
Yes.
Obviously, it was like all over the place. I was seeing people on TikTok being like, I'm not even religious, but just from seeing that, like, I want to be Catholic now.
Yes.
I mean, there's more to it, but even just hearing that, it's just like, okay, you're starting to get it.
Yes.
Now learn about it.
Yes,
you know?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Pope Leo. He's Peruvian.
Yes.
I'm
So he is
Peruvian.
Peruvian.
Well,
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm Peru. My mom is
Wow.
Peruvian. Well, he's not. He wasn't born in Peru, but he lived in Peru. I think for like
I do see
almost
he
40
lived-
years. Yeah, so he served
okay.
in the city of Chiclayo. So that's where he was a bishop, I believe.
Okay.
In Chiclayo.
But
So
hold
yeah.
on, you're like part Peruvian.
Yes. My mom is Peruvian and my dad is Mexican.
Mexican.
Oh,
No
and here we are. Oh, that's interesting. We didn't know that. We just found out this information right here. We're giving it to you live.
Exclusive.
Yes, exclusive
info.
here. Exclusive here. Wow, I didn't know that. So
Yeah,
is it
my
a little
family
bit
like went
different?
crazy when they found
way.
out.
Well, yeah, and he's American. Hello, an
Yeah.
American pope.
Yeah.
Which we said we would never have an American pope.
But look
Never
at
say
that.
never.
Anything is possible.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe he'll come one day to the podcast.
Yes.
Imagine.
Dream big.
I'm
Dream
dreaming
big.
big.
Yes, that's so funny. But yeah, I kept seeing comments like that too. Like, I'm not even Catholic, but like the whole world is watching. Like when
Yeah.
this is history being made, right? We're living through history.
Right.
We're gonna see this back. Like, oh, when Pope Leo the 14th was, elected. So
I had never like really paid much attention. Like I don't remember when Pope Francis, may he rest in peace, praying for his soul. When he came about, I don't remember actually like paying attention
Me
to when
neither.
that happened.
me neither.
That was what, like 20 something.
I think that was 2013.
I do remember when
do
he.
remember?
Really?
Yeah, I
don't.
remember that I didn't go to school.
Oh, you missed school.
I didn't miss it on purpose.
Oh.
I just wasn't at school. But I do remember seeing the white smoke. My mom had the TV playing, but she was cooking. She wasn't in the practicing the faith either,
Yeah.
like that. But I remember it was on TV, and I remember when the white smoke came out. I didn't know what was the big deal, but I knew it was a big deal. Even,
yeah.
But yeah, I do
don't
remember.
Me neither. I was in Catholic schools. It was 2013, right?
I'm not
Is that
sure
when he
exactly.
was-
Why would I lie?
No,
I don't know
what it-
exact year.
Maybe later, right? That would
Was
have
it?
only been like 10 something years.
Well, wasn't he Pope only like 12?
Again, we're not here to teach, okay? We're
Yeah,
just
right.
learning.
No, lo que no es saber, lo que no es
I think
saber.
it was around there. So I was
Okay.
in school, but I don't remember.
See,
should
that's
look it up.
embarrassing. If
Yeah.
it was like 2013, I'm like, then I was in high school and I was not paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Do you
Oh.
remember where you were when Pope Leo got elected? Like this year? Do you remember where
I
you
was
were?
in my house.
In my house, because I
You
don't
watching
come out
it?
the
I
house,
was
you
actually
guys.
paying attention. Yeah.
And you were at work or where?
No, I was on a trip. I was in Miami, but I kept
that's when-
kept
Oh,
checking
yeah,
my
yeah,
phone
yeah.
because I was like, I know it's gonna. I didn't think it was gonna
Refreshing
happen that
That
soon.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna
It
happen
was
that
super
soon.
fast.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was like the fastest one because Pope Francis got it like after how many? Like 4? I think 4.
Again,
4
I don't
days?
remember.
Four
Oh.
votes. 4 votes, and this one
Okay.
was 3. If
No.
I think I'm not sure, but it was like one vote less than Pope Francis, so it was super quick
Yeah.
because Pope Francis was fast as well.
Yeah. I remember I would just I would just check my phone like every now and then. I'm like, okay, let me check. And
What's
then
happening?
yeah,
White
what's
smoke?
happening?
No.
And then I saw the white smoke and it happened like I think like it was like 13 minutes ago, like the white smoke, and I was like, oh, okay, it just happened.
official.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I kept watching it, like, because, Rome time is different.
Yeah.
So I was staying awake. And I think it was the second smoke that they came out. It looked white. And I thought
I
it was.
saw that.
So I screamed. And I don't know what, like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I was like about to scream, like, oh, no, could it be? Could it be? And then it came out black. Oh, they played us like a violin. No, it was not. And then I was asleep for the real white
For the
smoke.
real-
I had fallen
yeah.
asleep.
No,
Yeah.
I did see that. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it looked white.
Yeah, but again, this is the first time that I ever paid attention.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, this is
It's
the
part
first
of
year.
history, right?
Yeah.
And like you guys said, now it was like all eyes were on the real one true church,
Yes.
true faith, right? Everybody was looking, and
And
it's
everybody
like,
was watching the mass.
and I just felt like, how can you deny, if this everyone's eyes is
Exactly.
here on our
it.
church.
That was
Even
definitely
if
what I
they're
was
not
thinking. Yeah.
Catholic, Protestants even too.
They were still paying
Yeah.
attention.
And everyone had something to say, okay? Everybody from
Everyone.
everywhere judging us or, saying, or
Even
things
the
like you
Pope.
said, yeah.
Even the Pope, like,
Yeah.
judging, like, oh, is it going to be the same? Or, stuff like that. Just judging straight off the bat. But
Some people who are not even religious excited because he's American.
Yep.
They're like,
Yes.
USA, Chicago.
Or it's like the first people that are like not even Catholic, like dictating who should be the Pope. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Catholics
But okay.
nonsense. Like, you guys don't know anything.
Neither
We don't
do
know
we,
anything
but
either.
still.
But it was like people, that don't know the faith saying, who should it be? But I think what saddens me the most was when this had all happened was how many people were so happy when Pope Francis died. Like,
I
oh,
know.
that was so
Catholics.
cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catholics.
That's
That
even
is
worse.
that made me very sad.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't, if you didn't like him, that was fine.
Yeah.
But it's just
was
another
still
thing
a
to
Pope,
rejoice
yeah.
over his Pope's death is something else.
Especially if you were Catholic, like that was your Holy Father, whether you accept it or not. Like
Exactly.
that's not okay. You can not like him, but you still have to love him, and you can't be rejoicing over his death.
Respect him and pray for him. Still pray
Yeah.
for him. Yeah.
And now that you've gotten into these, more controversial topics, you said you were scared of losing followers. So,
Yeah.
and did you lose your
Oh, yeah.
some followers?
No, I gained like double. I like
at
doubled.
that.
Yeah, praise be to God that I did, and I found like my true. Because that's really what I was struggling with. Like, what is my purpose here on earth? Like, what am I made here to do? And that's really what I was struggling with when I was trying to find my relationship with God. And I was like, it was meant to happen this way. I was meant to go to Catholic school. I was meant to like go through all of this and then fall away from the faith and do all these stupid things that I wasn't supposed to do, and then come back to the faith and have it be like this. Like literally, God's timing is perfect.
It's so
Perfect.
perfect.
It was meant to happen like this, and like now I know what my calling is. Like literally, this is what I was placed here on earth to do, is to teach the faith and help evangelize the faith online. Like the gift of social media is incredible.
It's part of your testimony, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is helping you also, not just for social media, but for what you want to do with the kids in high school. This is such a big impact. And I'm saying again, like it fuels you to learn even more.
Yes.
To defend the faith.
Exactly.
Do you feel like you would ever take a route to debate?
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, I 100%
my.
would. I love apologetics. I
Strong
love it.
personality. You have.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I do.
Even though
I
you're
love
introverted,
it.
but I love that.
Yes. No, but I feel like when I'm very passionate about something, it's like, oh, nadie me puede decir nada. Like, no, I'm very passionate, especially about the faith too, because I feel like I know so much about it now. And because now I understand how much it gets attacked, it's like, okay, now, I got to be well versed.
It's like
Every
time to speak
Catholic,
up, yeah.
exactly. Every Catholic should be well versed in why they practice their faith too, and like why they spend the time they do. It's like, your time is valuable. It's not like, imagine you're paying for like a gym membership, right? But you don't go. It's like, you're not just going to keep paying, because you're just used to paying, right? Like you're going to
Exactly.
stop your membership. It's like the same thing going to mass. Like you should be going to mass and not wasting your time there if you feel like you don't know what's going on, right? Like you should know why you're going on, why you're paying for that membership, and why you're spending your time there, and understand it and take the time to understand it.
It's part of
Sorry,
our.
but I'm like
yeah.
you, an apologist. You go, girl.
I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I got
That's-
invited to do one in June next month. So we'll see if it goes through or not. Yeah.
Wait, you've said yes?
I've said yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I've said yes. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Would you be so excited how would you feel? That would be your first, right?
Yes. Nervous, but excited. But yeah, I'm super excited. I just got to be well versed in my stuff. And yeah, but I would be, oh my goodness, so down. Yeah.
Wow.
We'd be rooting for you.
Oh,
we
thank
love
you,
that
thank you.
person.
No, that's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Because you said you're reserved, but
I'm reserved once someone talks to me, but once I
And
talk
then
to
you
them,
open
it's like
up.
I'm an open book.
Okay.
yeah. So, what are your closing thoughts on somebody who maybe learning about the faith and coming back? What could you advise somebody?
Yes. I would say, especially now in the world that we live in, information is so easily accessible, right? We have the internet now. We are able to read the letters of the early church fathers. We're able to read more history about the church. And it's not like we have to keep digging in like encyclopedias, right?
Yeah.
So now we have so much access to the internet. I would say if you're coming back to the faith, learn what the faith even is before you leave it, right? Because a lot of people leave the Catholic faith because they just don't understand it. Take the effort to make understand it before you even leave it, so that you know what your actual religion is. And understand your relationship with God and the church that he established. So I would just say do a little bit of research and really understand and humble yourself towards like, okay, I might be wrong about this. Open my eyes up to the truth.
That is true. Yeah, there's literally no excuse not
Yeah,
to
we have the internet.
learn and do all that. Yeah.
That's what I just said. Like, no, we don't have an excuse.
Anymore.
It's for the world to see, just like the conclave was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the world to see.
Yes,
No
yes.
Like you
excuses.
could get it like prior to the internet, but now like no.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly. And ultimately just trust in God's plan. Trust in
Yeah.
God's plan that he will work in you and that he will open your eyes up. Again, if you're open to it, right? If your heart is hard and it's like, okay, no, I'm right about this. It's like, sometimes we can be humbled, just like I was humbled. Like the Catholic Church is not wrong, right? Like I was trying to do that and I was humbled, but because I was open to being wrong, it's trusting in God's plan and surrendering to him.
Surrender.
Completely.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
completely to him.
Surrender. Well, thank you so much, Francesca, for
Thank
your
you
time.
guys. You guys are so sweet.
No, you are.
And your closing thoughts, Anna?
No, I learned with you, and I'm excited to see you go on that debate. I hope that actually does happen.
I hope so
because
too.
I don't think that I've ever seen. Are there girl apologists? I don't know.
I think just Candace as of recently, I guess, but she's.
I mean, the honor is mine to be sitting in front of the first.
Ah!
Okay? Yeah, but we will leave Francesca's like info like all down below, your socials.
Thank
Do you have a
you.
website or anything like that?
Yes. It's called fitforhisglory.la. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that name.
Yeah.
Fit for his glory. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
so
we are trying to be fit.
Yes. So it's like a play on like fitness and being and honoring your body.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
Yeah, so we'll leave her socials down below. Please pray for us as we continue on this journey because clearly we have like so much to learn. And
Para todos los mexicanos
sí.
o para todos los hispanos
Yes.
que no saben lo que no es saber, edúquense.
ajá, no hay excusa. O sea,
Es
todos
tan
tenemos,
fácil.
tenemos
Es tan
un teléfono.
fácil.
Ajá.
Andan ahí por horas y
En el
horas
TikTok.
texteando por
Ah,
TikTok.
hasta por TikTok se puede aprender.
Yes.
Ajá, así que literal
Por
no
el
hay
TikTok.
excusa.
No hay excusa.
No hay excusa para nada.
Y
So,
pues les
anyways,
agradecemos.
Ajá. We will also leave our info down below. And
Thank
again,
you guys for
watching.
joining and watching the whole thing through. Thank you, Francesca.
Thank you guys.
And hopefully there's another sit down chat.
Yes,
sometime in the
very
future.
soon.
Yes, maybe we can do it at the other studio too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Well, thanks for watching, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.